नमस्ते बेटियों, खुश रहिए। आई Devian Muskan Kumari from the Department of Science and Technology, and I'm working here as an assistant professor in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University and Faculty of Education and Mythology. So today is basic the session in which I will discuss about the TCP/IP models and their multiple protocols, whatever the protocols are used in TCP/IP models, isn't it? So just before this session, I have already discussed with you the OSI reference model, isn't it? So this is the basic take some characteristics and the similarity of OSI and TCP is same as, isn't it? So clear. Okay, so just to make it in easy way to understand to all of you about this session, I'm just going to share some files which is created by me with you that will helps you to better understanding regarding this session and all over the topics which I will discuss in today in this session. Okay, so hold 1 minute. So this is the files all about your the TCP IP protocol. So isn't it? So firstly, I discussed the OSI reference model and TCP IP models are open to open standard internet networking or the networking models that have very similar properties, isn't it? So the latter has found more acceptance today and the TCP/IP protocol suite is more commonly used nowadays. Just like the OSI reference model, TCP/IP model takes a layered approach. It also takes the layered approach. In this section, we will discuss the layers of about the TCP/IP protocols and the models, isn't it? So, firstly, we will discuss the some basic points of the TCP/IP models. So, TCP/IP model was developed prior to the OSI models, and TCP/IP model is not exactly similar to the OSI models because in OSI model we you are using and we all are using the 7 layers, isn't it? But in TCP/IP model we are using the 4 layers. Clear? So TCP/IP models consist of the 4 in 1 5 layers, like one internet network layer also. So they are containing the at most 5 layer: the application layer, transport layer, network layer, link layer, and the physical layer. Okay. So the first 4 layer provides to the physical standards and the network layer interface, internetworking, and the transport function that correspond to the first 4 layers of the OSI models. And these 4 layers are represented in the TCP/IP model by a single layer called the application layer. Clear? Now, TCP/IP is basically the hierarchical protocols which is made up of the interactive modules, and each of them provides the functionality, specific functionality. Clear? Each layer has their own specific functionality which is performed for the specific completion of the specific task. Clear? Now, if you talk about the functions of the TCP/IP layers, so this is the basic. Here you can see that physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and the application layer. These 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but these 7 layers are in the OSI model. But if we are talking here about the TCP/IP models, then you can see that physical layer, one layer, data link layer is the another layer, that is the second layer. In third layer, your network layer, fourth layer is transport layer, and the application, presentation, and session layer are combined together, isn't it? And form only one. That's name is the application layer. Clear? So in this diagram, you can see that in network layer, what is this? All the things which is presented here, isn't it? In network layer, how many protocols are used to perform their specific task? So this is the name of the protocols which is used, like ARP, RARP, IP Internet Protocol, ICMP, ICMP protocol. In transport layer, there are two protocols which is used for transmitting the data packets, that is the TCP and UDP. And in this application layer, there are these more protocols are used, like SMTP, FTP, Telnet, DNS, SNMP, NFS, RPC, TFTP. Clear? So now we will discuss firstly about the network layer. You well known about the physical layer and the data link layer. So I am just coming to the network layer. Okay. So what is the network layer? Network layer is the lowest layer of the TCP/IP model. Network layer is the combination of your physical layer and data link layer defined in the OSI model, isn't it? So it also defines how data should be physically through the network, and the layer is mainly responsible for the transmission of the data. What is the working of the network layer? Network layer's main working is basically the transmission of your data between the two devices or which are in the same network or in the different network. Clear? So functions, the basic function, the basic aim which is the carried out by this layer and encapsulating the IP datagram into frame transmitted by the network and mapping of the IP addresses into the physical addresses. It means what? This is basically you're mapping the IP address with your the physical address. This is basically the things in which we are mapping the addresses of the data packets. Now, if we talk about the protocols used by this layer are Ethernet, token ring, FDDI, and X.25 frame delay. These all are the most things which is used in the your network layer. Now if you talk about the internet layer, what is the internet? Internet layer is the second layer of the TCP/IP models. You can name them as the internet layer. So internet layer is also known as the network layer, but the main responsibility of internet layer is to send the data packets from any network and they arrive at the destination respective to the route they take, isn't it? Suppose you are sending some data packets, they are taking the correct route and the respective route, and they have to reach that data packets into the respective destinations, whatever the destination is predefined by you. Clear? So now if we talk about the here IP protocols, so IP protocol is used in this layer and this is the most significant part of the entire TCP IP model. Okay, so now if you talk about the responsibility of this protocol, then what? This is supporting your IP addressing. This protocol implements the logical host addresses and your uh, known as that IP addresses, and host to host communication. It also determines the path through which the data can be communicated and the transmitted with two nodes, between two nodes. Data encapsulation and formatting. If you talk about the data encapsulation and formatting, then IP protocol accepts the data from the transport layer protocol, and IP protocol ensures that the data is sent and received securely. So it encapsulates the data into the message known as the IP datagram. And if you talk about the fragmentation and reassembly, then what will happen? The limit imposed on the size of the IP datagram by the data link layer protocol is maximum transmission unit, that is known as the MTU. And if the size of that IP datagram is greater than the MTU unit, then the IP protocol splits that IP protocol splits that datagram into the smaller units so that they can travel easily through that communication channels and reach to the destinations. And after reaching to the destination, that all the segmented part are recombined, reassembles, and makes the formations of the original data packets form. Clear? So if you talk about the routing is just choosing the best path for transmitting the data packets. There might be the various part in the network which is started from the source to the destination, but we are choosing that appropriate path which is very cost effective, isn't it? So when IP datagram is sent over the local address such as LAN, MAN, and WAN, then it is a known direct deliveries. When source and destination are on the distant network, and then IP datagram is sent indirectly, and this can be accomplished by routing the IP datagram through the various devices such as the also the routers. Clear? Now in this internet protocols, if we talk about the multiple, whatever the multiple supporting protocols which is helps in the transmitting of data packets, then we call here the ARP protocols. So ARP protocol is basically stands for the address resolution protocol, and ARP is a network protocol which is used to find the physical address from the IP addresses. Clear? So there are mainly two associated with the ARP protocol is ARP request and ARP delay. This is well known to all of you. Suppose whenever you are just transmitting your data from source to destination, there are two operations is performing there. One is the requesting, another is the reply, or you can say that in the another way like the acknowledgement, isn't it? So whenever ARP perform this type of activities, then there might be two operations performed. One will be your ARP request and another will be your ARP reply. Okay. So what is the ICMP protocols? If we talk about the ICMP protocol, ICMP stands for the Internet Control Message Protocol. It is the mechanism used by the host router to send the notifications also regarding the datagram problems back to the sender, isn't it? If we talk about the datagram travels from the router to the router, then this will be happen still it doesn't reaches to the destination. If router is unable to route the data packets to the destination, then this is called the unusual condition, such as disable of the links or the due to the some occurrence of unwanted occurrence activities into the link communication channels, isn't it? So what is the basically ICMP protocol mainly uses two terms. One is will be the ICMP test, ICMP reply, that is similar ICMP request. ICMP test is used to test whether the destination is reachable or not. They are basically firstly find out that is the whatever the address I have given for the destination address, is that destination address is appropriate or not, is there any path to reach to that particular destination or not, isn't it? So this is called the ICMP test, and ICMP reply is basically what it checks that whether the destination device is responding or not. Clear? So now the core responsibility of ICMP protocol will be to report the problems and not correct them. They are only report about the problems which is arises during the reaching of data packets from source to the destination. The main responsibility of correction lies with the sender side, okay, not at the receiver side. So ICMP can send the message only to the source, but not to the intermediate routers, because IP datagram carries the address of the source and destination but not of the router that is passed. If you talk about the transport layer, so what is the transport layer is basically responsibility for the reliability, flow control and correction of the data which is being sent over the network. The two protocol used in the transport layer are user datagram protocol and the transmission control protocols. Whenever we talk about the user datagram protocols, then we can say that basically it is the connectionless services, connectionless provides the connectionless services and end-to-end delivery of the data transmission. It is unreliable protocols and is discovers the error but not specify the error also. User datagram protocol discovers the error and ICMP protocol reports the error to the sender and that user datagram has been damaged. Clear? Now, if you talk about more about the UDP, then UDP also consists of some following fields, like in the UDP format. If you talk, then this will contains your the source addresses, source port address. The source port address is the address of the application program that has created the message, and the destination port address, the destination port address is the address where we have to reach that particular created data or the message. Clear? Total length is in just about the bytes. Number of bytes of the user datagram is byte, and checksum is 16-bit field that is used in the error detection and correction methods. UDP doesn't specify which packet is lost. They cannot specify that which packet has lost in the over the communication channel. UDP contains only the checksum. It doesn't contain any ID of the. It only contains the checksum. Doesn't contain any ID of the data segments. Clear? So you can see here that there is 8 bytes is the header, and rest of the bytes is your data. And here you can see that the overall is the variables total length. Header format is was source port address is 16-bit, destination port address 16-bit, total length 16-bit, total and checksum is 16-bit. So if you talk about the TCP in the transport protocol, then we can say that time transmission control protocol is also used in transport layer protocol in the TCP/IP. It basically provides the full transport layer service to the application. It creates the virtual circuit between the sender and the receiver, and it also active for the duration of the transmissions. TCP is reliable protocol, and it detects the error and retransmit the damaged frames also. And the sending, during the sending, the TCP divides the whole message into the smaller message units known as the segment, and each segment sequence number is, which is required for recording the frames or to form an original message. Now, if you talk about the receiving in, then TCP collects all the segments and reorders and reassembles that segments into the one formation of the message with their sequence number. Reordering is based on the sequence number. If you talk about the application layer, which is the last layer, so application layer is the topmost layer of the TCP/IP models. So it has basic responsibility to handle the high level protocols and the issues which is generated into the applications or the representations. This layer allows the user to interact with the application. When one application layer protocol wants to communicate with the another application layer, it forward its data to the transport layer. Clear? Because the transport layer is just below to the application layer. Now there is an ambiguity occurs in the application layer. Every application cannot place inside the application layer except those who interact with the communication system. For example, text editor cannot be considered in the application layer, while web browser using the HTTP protocol to interact with the network, where HTTP protocol is the application layer protocols. Now, if we talk about the some protocols which is used in the application layer, first is your the HTTP. HTTP is the hypertext transfer protocols, and this protocols is basically used to access the data which is over the World Wide Web, and it also helps you to transfer the data in the form of the plain text, audio, video, and it is also known as hypertransfer protocol, and it has the efficiency to use the hypertext environment where there are rapid jumps from one document to another. Now, if you talk about the SNMP, so SNMP stands for the Simple Network Management Protocol, and it is a framework used for the managing the device on the internet by using the TCP/IP protocol. So clear. Now, if we talk about the SMTP, so SMTP is basically used for the simple mail transfer protocols, and TCP/IP protocol that supports the email is also known as simple mail transfer protocol. This protocol is used to send the data to another email addresses also. Now, if you talk about the DNS, then DNS will be the stands for the domain name system, and IP address, which is used to identify the connection of a host to the internet uniquely, that have the unique ID, but the people prefer to use the name instead of the addresses, isn't it? Because it is not possible to learn all the addresses of multi websites. Clear? So there are the system that maps the name to the address and fetch that name and gives you the users, and this is happening just because of the domain name system. If we talk about the telnet is basically abbreviated word of the terminal network. Okay, terminal network. It establishes the connections between the local computer and the remote computer in such way that local terminal appears to be a terminal at the remote system. So the local terminal will just behaves like the remote terminal at the remote site or system. If we talk about the FTP, file transfer protocol, then we can say that the file transfer protocol FTP is a standard internet protocol which is used for transmitting the files from one computer to another computer, isn't it? So this is all about your the TCP/IP models and their protocols, whatever the supporting protocols used in each layers, isn't it? So if you have any problem in this session, then please let me know your query by drop your query into the comment section box, through which I will solve that query in the next session with you, isn't it? And please read multiple books also to read for this session, isn't it? And also follow the multiple websites, also use the CCNA blogs to read the basic uh, terminology and all the sessions and all the topics of the computer networking through till which I have discussed with you, isn't it? So please do these all the things, and many questions will arises from these sessions, like explain the application layer protocols, supporting protocols. Then you have to explain these all the things in very precise manner. And if I told you that what is the importance of TCP, what is the difference between TCP and UDP, what do you mean by the ICMP? What is the working of ICMP network layer? How can you explain the physical layer and data link layer? Isn't it? So you have to describe these all the things with a very precisely manner. Okay. So be prepared for all the sessions which I have discussed with you. For multiple questions will be arises from that session, isn't it? And also be prepared for the next session which I will take in the next day, and that session name will be your whatever the switching and multiplexing. You have already know about this one, how data is transferring from one source to another source, isn't it? What are the various layers are involved in during the transmission of the data packets, isn't it? And what is the segmentation, why we are doing the segmentation of data packets for the reliable delivery of the data packets, isn't it? And we are again reordering the segment of that data packets with their order number, clear? So these all things I have already discussed. So now the two main things which will be the basic involve the concept of this transferring of the or transmitting of the data packets, that is your or what is multiplexing and the switching, what is the involvement of the multiplexing and switching during the transmission of data packet. So wait for this session, okay, in the next day. Thank you.